Well, welcome again. Here we are on the seventh Sunday of Easter. And I thought, what makes a healthy family? What makes a healthy country or a healthy world, really? Because it's been a lot on our minds. And when I talk about health, I'm not just talking about physical health, but also the health of our relationships with one another. 7 weeks into, more than 7 weeks into being at home, we might be on each other's nerves, and maybe we haven't worked our way through those issues, or maybe everything was fine, but now we're right. So, just recalling back to where we have healthy relationships, whether that be a family or a country or the world, it all comes back to a healthy spiritual maturity. Now, ancient documents, ancient manuscripts would refer to spiritual maturity as like the superior person, or it would refer to the perfect person, but those particular terms have changed over the years, and so we have different connotations to it. So what we're looking at with the spiritually mature person is the one who is in that process of being more and more present to the real presence of God here and now. To be able to allow things to be what they are without trying to force or fix a change. As an engineer, I designed a lot of things that you had to force a bearing into place, or you had to fix a machine. But that's not the forcing and fixing that we talk about in relationships, right? Or just in our own lives in general. Often when we try to force other people to do things, our children, our spouse, our neighbors, the person that's in the aisle next to us in the grocery store, that ends up not working out in the long run, does it? We don't have a sense of peace, and we're definitely not communicating that sense of peace to others. So we really have to be practicing all of the qualities that we learn in our Catholic practices of returning back to that love and faithfulness and that sense of correctness even. So that love, that charity, that is in the Eastern world, they call it loving kindness. In the Christian world, it's about not doing what our egos are telling us to do, but rather allowing the other person to be who they are and to respond to that person with loving affirmation and loving support, kindness, gentleness, all the fruits of the Spirit that you know come from that verse from Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. So, here we are practicing love. Part of practicing love and being able to love others and being able to be gentle with others is also learning to be receiving that love ourselves, being able to be patient and gentle with ourselves, being kind with ourselves. Being kinder to ourselves than we think we ought to be. And so there's this flow that we hear in our Catholic faith, that which I receive. I can't give away what I have not received myself. So there's this practice of receiving love from God, that practice of receiving peace from God, that practice of receiving and being patience and gentleness and kindness to myself enables then me to be able to do that with others. And so much in our life, we're really hard on ourselves and we're hard on our bodies. Now, those of you that are in our cluster know that I went through a remarkable change, or at least people said I went through a remarkable change. I lost 63 pounds in about 3.5 months. And I've been able to maintain that weight, been able to keep that weight off. And so what we notice when we're doing things like working out, or whether we're doing things like trying to control our eating, when we do it from a place of force, like I need to lose this weight and I'm going to make it happen. That works for very little time. Maybe we get through 3 or 4 days. Maybe if we really got strong will, we go through a whole week, and then Friday comes and it's like, I've been a good boy and I deserve a treat, and we end up eating a donut, and then we end up eating 2 donuts, and then we fall back into that cycle of just overeating. But if we go from the position of love and gentleness and kindness to ourselves, then what happens is what is loving to this body? What can I eat that truly loves this body? And to pay attention to it, to listen to the body, to see how the body is reacting to the food that we are consuming, or the rest that we are taking, or the work that we are doing. And what we begin to see is that in listening to the body and responding to it with loving kindness to it, we rapidly experience some transformations and find ourselves in a much healthier place. I was type 2 diabetes. My blood sugar was like 143 on the average. And yesterday, once again, I tested my blood and it's 95. And that's because of maintaining a diet that is loving to this body. Same thing with cholesterol. I had a high cholesterol because I loved my bacon. But bacon wasn't loving this body. And when I really examined it, it didn't make me feel good either. So going back to vegetables, going back to beans, that diet corrected my cholesterol without a statin or without any medications, without any insulin. My blood is 95, and which is normal, healthy. And my cholesterol is, I don't remember the exact number, but it was absolutely perfect, right where it's supposed to be. Simply by the act of loving this body. It's the same thing with our human relations with one another, is to just continue to practice that loving, gentle kindness with others, and to be faithful to that, to return back to that. So when we talk about doing what's right or doing what's correct, we're talking about that. We're talking about what is right and what is correct, that which is loving to ourselves and to the other. This is something that we can't just talk about. We have to become it. We have to authentically become it. We can know all of the things that we need to do to maintain a healthy body. We can study all about how to have healthy relationships. But it's the practice of it to really become that which we already know. So during these times, we don't concentrate so much on how are we influencing the people around us, but rather strengthening those principles that Jesus taught us to be that love, and to also practice allowing things to be what they are. That ultimately is mercy. Mercy is an acceptance, not an approval, but an acceptance of that which really is, and allowing it to be what it is. I don't know about you, but when people have been harsh with me, it doesn't build my love for them. And so there's a resistance there. And when I've been harsh to others, and I have, it often leads to the same reaction. There's a misfortune there. But so does spinelessness, where I'm just so sentimental in the relationship that doesn't help either. So it's that fine balance of what truly is love, what truly is being gentle with others, and being strong in that within ourselves. That's really the key. You know, pretty soon we're going to be in a world that has an increase of activity, an increase of movement, and we may find that because we've been out of touch socially, that we may find that being with other people is actually a higher source of irritation. So this is a great time to begin to practice now our own sense of generosity towards those in our household, practice of gentleness and patience with others and with ourselves, so that as that increase of activity begins, we are already practicing it. And so it will come to us more easily. Well, God's peace and blessings to you all. I wish you all the very best, and look forward to the time when we can see one another face to face. God's peace and blessings to you.